Hello everyone, here I have a game for you today between none other than Wesley So and his opponent, who's black, is Firouzja. And so anyway, here we go, let's get into this. And this the time limit at the Tata Steel Chess Tournament that is currently running. This game's from the 15th of January 2020, and this is round 4 where Wesley has the white pieces. So here we go, and obviously that's some players there at this tournament. Okay, so here we go. Hiccups. The time limit is, what is the time limit now? It's 100 minutes for the first 40 moves and 50 minutes for the next 20 moves, which is a bit better actually, and 15 minutes for the rest of your moves after that, with 30-second increments on the clock as well, each move from move 1. So that's almost getting to match game again, isn't it, really? Still quite fast. So here we've got Queen's Gambit accepted, a classical main line where e4 is often played on move 7. And also alternatively a4 on move 7 for white, which go down completely different roads. So here comes knight d4, not e4. It looks like, yes, I've just been watching Susan Polgar via her university in regards to what to capture with next. We could capture with the queen here on d4, or we could capture with the knight or the e pawn. And so probably she would say knight d4, because this way we're keeping our islands of pawns just at 2 instead of 3. So here we go, let's go. Bishop e7. There will be things I do not understand of these players. This, incidentally, is the longest diagonal for white's dark squared bishop. This is the largest diagonal of one part for white. Okay, the A1 to AH for the white dark squared black squared bishop. Chicken. Bishop d7. And now comes this knight d2, which is something I've noticed just with my primitive way of looking at things, of Wesley So's play. It's really fantastic, and just like very, very careful and that sort of thing. But knight d2, and this is obviously still in the main lines. Knight c6, rook c1. And of course white is looking at these squares here and here, so white has actually got control of e5 square. Here comes b5 to bust white's game up, we think. a3 to prevent b4, of course, just joking. And rook c2, when we have this now happening, bishop d3. Now we have to be careful, of course, white has to be careful of not letting there occur a fork here, which wouldn't actually work anyway. So rook fd8 and queen e2, and now we have bishop g4, rook fc1, h3 is happening soon, knight a7, rook c8, rook c8, rook c8, knight c8. Now we have h3, and after bishop f3, no good would be knight f3 because white would lose a piece according to my understanding. So here's queen f3 and queen d8 and queen e2. So keeping the status quo sort of thing. And now was it queen d5 and bishop c2. Knight d6, and here comes queen d3, almost sometimes a way to checkmate black if we can with queen takes pawn. Check only here because of knight takes queen, and it's not checkmate because the king can move to f8 of course. So here we've got queen d3. Now there's a capture of queens where white has the two bishops versus the single bishop, the dark squared bishop for black, and the two knights defense. So here comes bishop d3, exchange on d3. Thank you very much. Draw. I'd be hoping for a draw for either one of these players here. Knight d7 and g4. A preventative move here, so that f5, the major move on the chessboard, cannot be played here because it would be the single loss of a pawn. So here's g4. Of course, I'm just talking just for fun. So here's this knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4. Now white has clearly got two bishops versus bishop and knight. Knight c5 and bishop c2, of course. And with this bishop c2 move, I think I could consider here myself bishop d5, but that would allow black a very strong move where the knight would jump or leap or cavort into place. So here is if bishop d5, then the computer's going to play this move instantly. It's going to play knight d3, okay? And already white is in trouble now, just because of one single little move, okay? So that's how easy it is for me to think, oh, bishop d5. But bishop c2 is somewhat way better. And it's what the top grandmaster plays. So here we've got b4. We're going to undertake for white to win the e4 pawn, which is now sort of it's now going to be a trouble for black soon. So here's bishop c3 and king f1. So we've both got kings on the f8, f1 respective squares. So here white's just threatening to play king e2, of course, and lift the pawn as promised. Now comes e4. So if fe4, then I believe that that would be even better for white. White's a whole pawn up now, and these pawns are only 2 islands for white versus 2 islands for black, but white is a whole pawn up. So that's just here Firouzja I think I said that right, played FG4. So here's a sort of a short pawn sacrifice of white to infiltrate their king into black's queenside and attack primarily the pawns on a6 and b5. However, the king tries to stalemate the white king from moving around, which is probably fair enough, but here comes the move. I think it was a4 here or e5. I was going to say a4 or e5. It probably makes a lot of difference. Now comes a4. Bishop e5, and here we have the end of this session with this move here, king d5, and then here black resigned, okay, or lost on time or something like that. That is the end of this session, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Please call back to have a look next time what I've got next time. Thank you. All the best with your chess, no matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are and what your strength is.